Hi there, my name is Nikki, the museum coordinator here at Eldon House. Welcome to the servants' quarters. When people come to visit the museum, they often ask some very interesting questions, like how many people lived at Eldon House? And inevitably, how many people worked at Eldon House? When we interpret Eldon House, we tend to talk about the two families. The Harris family, who inhabited the home from 1834 to 1959, and the servant family, who ran the home behind the scenes. In our 125-year history, the Harris family employed roughly 200 people in the house. Not all at the same time, of course. We know a lot of details about the servants thanks to the writings of the Harris family women, who wrote many details about their daily lives and the daily runnings of the house in their diaries and journals. They also took photographs, and we have several census records, as well as testimonies from former servants that talked about their lives here at Eldon House. In the 1970s, there was a really big push by Eldon House staff to learn as much as we could about the Harris family and about their lives. Some of our research involved reaching out to former servants of the home and asking for them to come back and give us their testimonies. We were very fortunate that so many people did come forward and had a lot to say about their time here at the house. Many talked about the Harris family and their experiences with them. They talked about their work, relationships with the other servants, as well as about their workspaces and their bedrooms. We're actually standing in the one servant bedroom on display in Eldon House. And the furniture and furnishings of this room were collected from all of the servants' bedrooms, with other tokens brought in by servants when they came to visit. This maid's uniform was worn by Mary Kidd, a former housemaid here in Eldon House. Mary worked here from 1930 to 1937. She left that year to get married to a man she knew while working at Eldon House, Hoger Cloygard. After she retired from service, Mary would still come back and help the housemaids and other servants with large cleans, as well as serving at dinner parties. This uniform was last worn by Mary in January of 1960. She served the final meal here in the Eldon House dining room. The Harris family decided to have one final meal before they donated the home to the City of London, and Mary was one of their servants here. This uniform is a housemaid's uniform and was made by Eaton's Canada, which was in operation from 1896 to 1999. The uniform was purchased from a mail order catalog, and all the servant uniforms were actually purchased by the Harris family. You can see that this uniform is a housemaid's uniform. In the Victorian era, when the house was first built, there were actually different levels of servants with very distinct job descriptions. A housemaid or a parlor maid was a woman who was in a front-facing position in the museum. Her duties would include answering the door, attending to the females of the house, waiting on guests, and if there were no butler or footman in the house, as was the case here, they would be the ones serving at the dining room table. A scullery maid or a kitchen maid was a different level of maid, and their jobs were largely labor-based and dirtier work. They were the ones who did heavy cleaning, they lit the fires in the mornings, and they also would help the cook. Now this uniform is from the 1930s, and it depicts a housemaid's uniform, but by the 1930s, roles of the servants were actually a little bit more blurred. By the time of the 1930s, it wasn't as popular to have multiple servants in your home with the different levels. But this uniform still reflects a housemaid's tradition. It's made from a kind of silky fabric, but it is quite sturdy. And you can see it hits below the knee, which was common of the time, and has some decorative darts in the front. The apron is actually made of linen with a pattern woven in, and it crisscrosses in the back. The same material is used both on the collar and on the cuffs of the dress, and was more of a show for the maids. This was not the outfit you would have used to do dirty work because stains would have showed on the fabric easier. So this was the kind of outfit you would don for dinner service. Artifacts like these, which have been added to the room, really help bring life into this space and allow us as museum staff to interpret the room more easily because it adds a personal touch. We hope that you come and visit us soon and take a look at the servants' bedrooms. Thank you.